I'd like to welcome the journalism class here from Avon University. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And as you can tell, I'm not in HR, and so I'm filling in for him tonight. We'll start by saying the pledge of allegiance. All right. Clerk, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
To lead items.
We actually don't have an item on the consent
You don't?
agenda.
Okay.
That's just a placeholder. Okay.
Now's the time for any public comments. So if any citizen or person or citizen online would like to make any public comments regarding a non-agenda item, you can do so now. Any online?
No.
All right, we'll close the public comments. Ordinances and resolutions. Consider the FY 24 budget amendment number 8 for AIA Live/Upper Ranch.
Okay, as you recall, last fiscal year, we received a $300,000 grant from the North Carolina environmental quality, to conduct what's called an analysis and assessment of water system. That's AIA, focused primarily on lead and copper. We had budgeted for it last year. There were some delays in getting the scope of work approved and the scheduling all approved. We obviously bled into the current fiscal year, and on June 30th, that appropriation rolled into our fund balance. So this is asking you to essentially reappropriate those grant funds. DEQ has approved our scope and our schedule going forward, and so we actually approved the award our last meeting. So with a budget amendment, that project will commence, and we'll start working on it.
Any questions from the council?
At this point, have any idea when the results will be released or when they be completed so that, the public know, or is it a long process?
This will be a long process. It includes a lot of mapping and analysis of the actual system, so they'll be doing checks around the system, looking for the top of the land, as far as the research through our records. I don't have a contract here tonight, if there was more. We're clear on what the schedule can look like, we can look that out.
Is it one of those kind, I just remember in the past, you used to get like a little file of your house, this is not that kind. This is looking like an actual copy of something.
Yeah. So we do regular testing for lead, that we do for copper as well, although my house is always talked about lead. So we do have a sense of where some of the areas that we might have concern are. Copper, sometimes I think the copper is the new feature that we're going to be evaluating. This will also be mapping, so that we have a really, think about our water system is being built over, 50 years or whatever. So this will give us a good map of what our water system looks like on the size of pipes of pipes. Anecdotally, we know, but this will confirm that, if you will, and give us strong documentation. That also helps us know about when work is done, when certain parts of the system are installed, which will tell us what we might have to look for in terms of solder and stuff like that.
So this is really just the infrastructure to the meter. Inside the meter, to the home is outside the scope.
I believe that's correct. Well, again, I can verify that.
Would we have that much copper?
how big we are laying it. Things that might be underground for some reason, back in the day, they might have been copper, again, that's part of what we're trying to figure out. Is to where those features might exist in our water system.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve the FY 24 budget amendment number 8 for AIA Red Copper Grant?
Nothing wrong.
Motion carried.
Yep, maybe second that.
Yeah. Okay, new business. Letter A, Mountain to Sea Trail connection in our Highway 7 North Park. Please present.
Phyllis, do you want to introduce it?
He's volunteer.
Hey, you put it on the agenda, you can stand up.
Because hopefully the kind of, these mountains. I have $2 mountains. Fantastic. And you all read the information, right? We covered that. So there's 1,175 miles passed through 37 counties in North Carolina. So the Mountain to Sea Trail folks are official unit of the North Carolina State Park. And staff and town manager met with Andrew Stevenson and Justin Brown from the Mountain Sea folks. And previous to that, I met Peter Dahl like 6 or 7 years. A long time, yeah. And so we've been imagining and dreaming that this would happen for years. So we were allowed after y'all released that would be. We've got pilot environmental engineers. So that's where we are at this stage, is that they've said as long as the wilderness trail that's considered removing invasive vegetation and exotic non-native species. So Peter's here to speak about the process that they use to clear the trail, the wilderness trail, so that it is on.
My name is Peter Dahl. I've lived here for 11 years, 500 yards away from you, just over the line. And I'm here tonight as a representative of the Friends of the Mountain to Sea Trail. Alamance County has a task force led by Andrew Sam. I happen to also be the vice chair of the Recreation and Parks Commission for Alamance County. I'm there because I was a volunteer for the Friends of the Mountain Sea Trail. So every month I put the oar in the water for more support for the trail. I met Phyllis 6 or 7 years ago when I went to her department building for an association meeting. And I found out that it was her dream. It was her dream to have a trail in Alamance County. And I said, well, you're talking to the right person. We have a crew of volunteers, around 35 on our email list. Today we had 20 down at Saxapaw. We're going up and over the dam, and we're about 2 miles up from the private campground down there on the east side of the river. But I want to just remind you of a couple of things, because not being a native, I had to do a little research. In 2008, the town of Elon and 9 other governmental bodies formed and signed a memorandum of understanding to help support the trail system along the Haw River. You all remember that? Did you hear that? Okay. And since that time, as you know, the Haw River has been developed to paddle access. And last Saturday, we dedicated a new 0.8 mile section off the Shalford. And it was on land that had been donated by the Harrison family and the Gant family. And they were all there Saturday. They got to meet each other. And I was pleased to see that over 20 Elon students were there to walk that trail Saturday. And, so, anyway, so our Alamance County Task Force has been working for 25 months. We started 2 years ago in September. Since that time, over 3,000 volunteer hours. When we first talked to Phyllis about it, Phyllis said, well, how much do you charge? She said, well, maybe a t-shirt, maybe a lunch. It's all we ask for. We supply our own tools. I brought my road hoe with me. We basically use two tools. One's called a road hoe. It looks like a regular hoe, but it's sharp. And you dig down about 1 inch or 2 into the topsoil so that grass and stuff doesn't grow. And then we use a fire rake, which is a sharpened rake that we also use here. Those are the basic tools. There's that and muscle. And if there's rocks in the way, we'll move rocks. If there's a little inlet, we're maybe on a heavy rainstorm, if water comes through, we make sure to put rocks in there so that the water can go through. And Phyllis said you all had that study done. I looked at it. There's a little section there that we'll go over. But like I said, we use those two basic tools, and we've added 8 miles of trail in Alamance County since we've been meeting. And all we do is follow the flags. They've already gone out and walked it. The experts put the flags down, and we come with those tools, 3 feet wide. It's a path, basically. It's a path. There's no crush or run. There's no paving. It's just a simple trail, and it's been an amazing benefit to the county. I think and this will really add to it. This map that they showed me tonight, we're going to connect with the Guilford Farm, Guilford County Farm, and it's going to help us connect to Shallowford, and that's exciting because the longer trail you can make, the more people will come out use it. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but we're a very dedicated group. We work the 3rd Saturday of the month. That's our official work day. And then there's a few of us that work every Monday as well. Today we had 20 people on sets. And we're excited. You give us a project and we're there. We're happy to do it. This looks like we can knock it off about 3 days.
I failed to mention it's about a mile.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
A mile. That's great. Anytime we can add a mile to the trail off the road, the idea is to get right now, about a third of the trail is on the road. And the issue is not state property or county property. It's getting rights away from private county. So when we get Elon property, that's you guys. And we're happy to get in there and put a trail in there. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I did have a couple of questions. Will it be just exclusive for hiking or will mountain biking or hiking?
Yeah. Now, we only build hiking trails. The biking is becoming more popular. One of our Parks Commission members has asked that question, and that might be the future. The trails are strictly for walking, no biking, no horseback riding. Sorry.
And the other question I was gonna ask, I read through, there was mention about some other amenities we might be required and might consider. Elephant, is one of the things we mentioned.
We already have the, Elon property, so I talked to NCDOT and they were fine with that. Drive staying as it was farmed in and that we've been using since we've done it.
And water, do we have to provide water or any? restrooms or anything?
No, there's no water. The people carry their own water. Typically, the trailhead has to be built, which is parking. You already have that. And sometimes the county will put in a men's ladies room, tank goes that big. And also typically there would be a kiosk that would advertise the fact that this is a town Elon trail, welcome, and show a little map, and, typically that, Impact Alliance is paid for that. We don't have any money, but they know how to make grants, and most of the trailheads now that the new ones pay for with a grant. Your park director gets. Thanks for the question.
Mr. Donald, thank you so much for all your hard work for the state. I was wondering, do you guys have any idea how many folks use this on a yearly basis, or, how widely it's used throughout the state? It's just, it's
No, throughout the state, no, but, the annual report for the Alamance County Parks Department shows that thousands of people, go through the trails. They keep track. If, you know, when a car goes in, the car goes out, it's like 2.7 type of thing. And, last year, in the course of 19 months, we built a 3.8-mile trail down at Cape Creek Mountain. And that was not part of the Mountain to Sea Trail, that was just extra. And, it sure built up the confidence that, those that, are employed by the county have in us volunteers. And Tony Laws, it's with City Parks. We have an open, if we need money to materials, anything up to $1,000, he'll pay. He's so grateful that we're out there. He doesn't have to send his employees out. If a tree comes down, we take care of it. Yeah, I can't tell you about the state,
That's
but,
okay. I'm sure it's all right.
Alamance County.
Thank you so much.
I think this is a great opportunity. We need to provide opportunities for people to get outdoors.
Right.
And safe in a clean way, and that's just,
Absolutely,
you know.
absolutely. And, it'd be a nice tribute to this young lady. She's wanted to do this for 2 years. We're happy to be a part of it.
So who stayed by the trail? Our team or, I mean,
No, Pilot, well, they did, and then Pilot Engineers are not there to environment. Not discuss where
and has that been published anywhere? You can see.
they are finalizing the report, Pilot Engineers. Environment. They've been through the Division of Water Resource, and now it's at, Army Corps of Engineers, but this southern portion won't have any impact with the Army Corps of Engineers.
Typically, at least when we do a trail in Alamance County, Nola, the parks coordinator, they use GPS and all this kind of stuff, and they put the flags out. And, I just come along with my road hoe and work for a couple hours. But, they know what they're doing, and, the fact that we've had folks go out and market, we're satisfied. Like I said, it's a 3-foot wide, simple, nothing complicated.
So what's our next step? Well, so next step is, you know, with your endorsement, we will, we have the, I think it's been GPS already, the flags. Didn't the folks who laid it out?
That's what.
Yeah, I understand that's been done.
Okay, so we'll take those GPS coordinates, we'll draw them out. The zoning process and approvals from local planning department stuff.
I will tell you one other thing, by the way, any trail that we do in the community, and I would hope that you want to do this too. When you mark the trail, like every quarter of a mile, there's a number on the marker, and that marker is tied in with 911. So if you fall and break a leg, you can call 911, and they know where to come. On the Shalford, the brand new trail, they didn't dedicate it, they didn't open it officially until those markers were there, and they have a number that's on file with the 911 folks. Yeah, for a safety standpoint.
One thing I was gonna ask, obviously, I think, obviously, you have a lot of volunteers, but how would somebody find out an opportunity they want to volunteer to help out, not just this project? I'll give you his contact information, okay?
What's that?
I'll give you his contact information.
We have a website, you just go to the Friends of the Mountain to Sea Trail, and you look up Alamance County, you see, Andrew's name, you sign up with him, you get on his mailing list, and, if you can come fine, if you can't, it's okay. This morning we started at 9, and I left at 11:30, some people stayed till 2 o'clock, and, you know, I'm 83, I work as long as I can, and I got other things to do. I don't play pickleball.
Now, we're gonna plug in the Friends of Mountain Sea Task Force leader, Andrew Downs, that any students that would like to participate, he would love to, and he will, be available to come to a gathering that you all might have, a class or a program or whatever. And he'd love to talk to you about that.
We have a student and staff, Elon, from out, there's something for everyone, no matter what age.
But you might be just need to.
Yeah, and, you know, and you've got the MOU, and I go ahead and sign that with endorsement, and, you know, like I said,
My only suggestion is that you give the director of parks so that we can work with one person and, it's not rocket science.
Work fast.
We're ready. We're ready. Thank you very much.
You looking at option 1, 2, I assume not 3, but which one are you gonna leave it to?
that's your decision. Well, no problem. Option one was in case you wanted to bring it back. So, we're going to option two, then we'll, get the rest of the paperwork done, for the office.
We really have nothing to do. You put up with the positive.
Yeah. Yeah, and for information, we're coming in, we're kind of moving off the side of the parcel so that there won't be disruption to future uses that we may be doing out there. Obviously, we don't have a master plan for the park property yet. This is a way of getting the trail out there and not inhibiting future uses.
So one question I should ask earlier, but it's gonna connect to 87, right? At the intersection, so how are they crossing over to get the shop?
Well, the high school is right there.
Yeah, but I'm wondering about the safety concerns.
There's a light there. There's a traffic light there. I was just there the other day. And, that's a long light, but, the trails cross the roads, throughout the state, and, most hikers, you know, your property is a 1 mile, it's a 1 mile trail, it would be an in and out. A through hiker coming from, Clemens Dome is gonna be a different person, and, they treat it different. This typically would be a terrific, trail to, begin, but not only does it help connect, but it's also a local trail, you know, a 2 mile walk is great on a nice sunny afternoon. Or you go to Shalford and walk a 3 mile, it's, people love to go out and walk, so, yeah. Crossing the street is, you know, it's what the public does, and there is a light there.
So if later on we want to expand that, yeah, say local high school, there, country, force there, they could tie back into that. It
Absolutely.
would be our responsibility to other counties, wherever.
Once you're, you know, once you open this park up and dedicate it, it's open to the public, and hopefully the school would talk to you, and, maybe you can get some of those private landowners to tie in, and we could, add another mile, 1 mile at a time, that's what we do.
Andrew has said that they'll go within the park, do like they did the Gilpin County. And they do trail to them, so we can use it for prosperity eventually, and for more folks to go to the park and just enjoy, instead of just walking the street. To continue on from that.
So we'll have a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with Mountain Sea Trail and authorize, town time Halloween, time Halloween legal. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Motion carries.
And if I could, while,
Thank you.
before we go on to the next item, I'm gonna make it official. Can you stand up, Phyllis? I just wanna, Phyllis has worked on this project obviously for many years. Worked on Beth Schmidt for 20 years. And has probably a dozen more projects in line that have been in play for multiple years. So it's with a heavy heart, but I'm gonna announce that, Phyllis gave us her retirement notice, this past week. So, yeah, we will, I don't know if we'll get this done before the end of November, but, we'll get it done soon and, when we cut the ribbon, we'll make sure you're there, Phyllis. And,
The world needs dreamers. She's one of them.
absolutely.
What would be the new business, consider change to, for made in this time?
Okay, this is something you guys approve every year when we do budget, and occasionally things come up and we bring it back to you between budgets. As you know, our HR payroll specialist, recently left to another position. And in considering, how we're managing HR functions, want to raise this proposal to you. The previous, the existing position, as I said, is, it's in our scheme of hierarchy, it's, it's down below, finance officer and, it is not, doesn't have the authority, say, of a higher level job where some of the company department has said, we need to implement this policy. We need to get your people into these training programs. So one is that while we're working to replace it, is to elevate that job. We put a lot of the original job description, probably more than was capable for where we had it placed. So I want to raise it up in grades, so it matches better with what we anticipated trying to do with that position. Clarify some of the responsibilities, some of the authorities. So looking for you to see if you're interested or willing to insert this into our grade and assignment sheet at grade 36, and then we can go about trying to fill that position.
I did have one question. How do other municipalities our size, how do they operate? Do they have what I call an HR manager? Or they outsource?
I've gone on the manager's listserv to ask about outsourcing, and I got two responsible, and wow, if you find everything, let me know. And somebody recommended a company out in Nashville. I'm not sure would be the appropriate location for an HR outsource. I think by and large, most communities do the work in-house. There are certainly communities that outsource it. And that could be an option for us. I have hesitated in past careers to outsource that because it's such a, it relies on communication and contact with employees. And I've always felt that if somebody needs HR, they need HR. They don't need to send an email and wait 3 days for, the HR consultant in the office. And I've never felt comfortable outsourcing it. Not to say that it doesn't work. It obviously does for other communities. And maybe I'm just old fashioned enough that I like that. I like that human contact. I find it easier human contact is better in my view. But we can certainly investigate it further. At this point, I haven't heard more from my fellow managers out there. there are other avenues that we can seek information. Everybody's got a list of these days.
My understanding is that this HR position was developed just recently. We didn't have this business. And, so sense is that you learn something at this first go.
Yeah.
My sense is that, this is a good move. I think this is the right thing because of the responsibilities that we have to do on new person. And this gives us the option. I think the manage well. I'm all.
I would agree with Randy on that. I mean, I think when you have a vacuum, then it ends up going out on the other employees to fill a lot of different things that are going on. And specifically, that position is to support the employees. So I think it's important, like you said, that we have a physical person here that can support our employees and make it the best workplace that they can have. And so it's a vital position.
Any other comments?
So, would the typical candidate be someone with experience in human resources and put together a lot of the tasks that you listed there?
Well, I'll say, I mean, a lot of it we have, and we're in the process right now of, we put together a committee to review all of our, update our policies based on the handbook that you folks adopted, and then the handbook you folks adopted a couple months back. But yeah, we'd be looking for somebody who has a combination of experience, some payroll experience, benefits, certainly HR, and there's various ways of getting that, and we'll be once the education is hands-on experience. So, a combination of those types of work, skills, those skill sets, we would be looking to bring in house.
Maybe like we all finish in favor. You're looking at that, bringing it back to us.
You want that back to a vote at our upcoming meeting, is that good?
Can we take a vote for that? If you want to, do it. If anyone, I mean, my feeling is that, I think it's,
Yeah, I mean, I think I attached the job description, which has the grade in it, so yeah, if you wanna prove that, then that speeds things up a little bit.
I would say that,
Okay. Say second. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Okay. All right. Even better, take care of it tonight.
Our HR person will. Yes, they'll be going out as soon as we can.
Okay, letter C of the new business, consider amending the town code, chapter 6 for animals and chapter 13 for nuisance.
Probably just about a year ago, we ended up with, we had an incident of, a dog biting. First one was a child, a couple months later, that same dog bit an adult. And we spent from this time last year until dealing with how to deal with that dangerous dog. Lack of clarity in our existing code on animals. This lack of access to animal control, to our contract with the animal shelter. County was able to assist at times, they lack the authority because it was our jurisdiction. So it became a real problem for us to proceed with addressing the issue raised by this dangerous animal. And it ended up being that we were on a separate complaint in the same house that then, I think we get access that we could then turn out they have 8 or 9 dogs or more in the house at the same time, all caged. We'll get them to the animal shelter, and then with the dangerous animal at the animal shelter, we will proceed through court to get disposition of that animal, who ultimately was euthanized. But it took 8 to 9 months to do that, which was an issue for the neighborhood. People did not feel safe. We lacked the tools to address it in a timely fashion. So the chief has put together some proposed changes in chapter 6 under animals. This would give us clear lines of authority under local code to deal with that kind of thing. It is very proactive. It would give us the right to deal with the animal with time and passion. We're also recommending the chapter 13 where consultative brings chapter 6. So want to bring that to you folks, and it's a change of how we do business today. So there's a change in what applies to instantaneous authorities officers may have. They already do that, but it's just a way to put them in and gives us the ability to take action without having to go to the ADA office to report, which is what we're talking about. If it's something that you read through and you're comfortable with it, then what we would do is go ahead and schedule like I thought I would. So we'll get follow up with him and make sure that we're in line with statute, that we're not, too far out of whack with anybody. They think they're different than Bill.
One of the things that when I read that, it basically said, someone had the right to put down an animal, right? And pick that apply to wild animals as well. Coyote, fox, raccoon. Dogs.
I don't, the language is, if we make a determination of the dangerous dog.
They're gonna be domesticated. But we're talking about domesticated.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, we're talking
This property or something. That was the problem last time.
Yeah.
It was being property, right?
yes. As far as wild animals, there are a lot of state regulations regarding that. So if somebody is complaining about an animal that's in their yard, it's a kind of nuisance. That doesn't give us the ability to dispatch an animal. That would be a state issue, unfortunately. It's unfortunate, but they're the ones that have the authority to regulate that. If, as any time, if an officer is being attacked by a wild animal, by all means, they need to defend themselves. If it's a question of a wild animal attacking a resident or, a member of the public, they'll do what they need to do to protect the member of the public. But not just nuisance animals, not animals that are getting into garbage cans or things like that. That goes to the state authority.
So we're talking about dangerous
Yeah. Dog bites somebody and, this creates a clear process that we have jurisdiction over, not a nebulous process of going through the DA's office in the courts and having animal control and things like that.
Well, I knew that there was a great deal of frustration with that
Mhm.
process. being here, I mean, I would maybe want to ask how she came up with it, did she borrow it from other counties, was it written to meet the need that kind of what we saw before?
I mean, there are a lot of communities in North Carolina that have codes similar to this. So, you know, we don't like to present work to you for your approval, and usually we copy it from somebody. We tweak it for specific situations, but, no, so she's relying on other things that exist out there.
And that makes me feel better.
So this is not out of the blue, whole cloth. What, you know, wild
Just to me, it's certainly.
No, it's really looking at different communities from bigger, from our size, and finding out how they deal with these issues, and then crafting the bits and pieces together into something for us.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, Mr. Dacken, who's a neighbor who I know you know very well at this point, who has attended so many of our meetings concerned about this issue. And not to be gory, but he's divided on the child and on the adult were very significant. It wasn't, not that anybody is not, but these were bad. These were really bad. So,
How's that been on our face?
and so I think that this is a move that, you know, the situation's unfortunate, but I think it's something that obviously we need to streamline the process so that it's not, what, 9 months, a year that.
Yeah.
it's taken. Yeah.
And it came to a conclusion because we got a complaint on a separate issue. That and somebody let us into the house.
So, right now, we have a room or even that.
Yeah.
I guess that's one thing that I like to try to do that, but.
We'll have that before we do it, yeah.
My question is, you know, what's considered a threat, a dog come out and market issue, which we've all sometimes that, or is it really impact on dangerous of it, then that's when we can take that.
Yep, so a potentially dangerous dog is a dog that has inflicted a bite on the person, resulting in broken bones and disfiguring lacerations and requires hospital surgery or hospitalization. So lots of dogs that is excited to nip you on the leg through your pair of pants. That's how a dog does.
And I guess the reason I was going there is that I don't want to wait till someone gets injured. If there's another problem where a dog is intimidating me,
That,
what kind of warning can we give?
yeah.
What kind of citation?
So, so the other is animal is killed or inflicted serious injury on a domestic animal will not on their property. Approach the person will not on their property in a vicious or terrorizing manner in apparent attitude of attack. That's probably the most nebulous standard. You know, I have an excitable dog. He barks. His ears are up, his tail's going wild, and he wouldn't harm a fly. So he doesn't like dogs, they can feel stuff, feel much different. That identifies him as potentially dangerous. That's not grounds for euthanizing. If it happens repeatedly, and by repeatedly, it could be twice. Could happen once. If a dog is attacking somebody, the officer would give an authority to that's a dangerous one. And deal with it in the instantaneous situation. If we need to. If it's past tense, attack somebody, then we put them on notice that your dog is determined to be a dangerous animal. Stays on the property, stays under your control, it's out loose. It is now a known dangerous animal subject to action by the PD. That could be coloring it, that could be, the animal control after it. It's not going out and seeing an animal that's running at large that you knew was dangerous and shooting.
That is not any dangerous dog found at large after that interview. And determined
There's a potential and danger.
yes, absolutely, but if
Yeah.
it's already been told that there's a dangerous dog, it's run at large, one, give go-ahead that we're using the station. I like option two a little bit better, if we're having to do it, I still want Bob to go out and go over that. But option two is like in an emergency situation, so this dog gets loose, it bits somebody, right? So then even still, you know, if there's a runner and it nips her on, you know, nips somebody on the leg, excited, but still, neighbor is upset.
Yeah.
The dog bit them. We still have to take action as a town saying, hey, now, dog could fight somebody.
Yeah.
There's discrepancies involved, and now, you know, that dog is dangerous dog. So I really want to be careful of being judge and jury in a situation like this. But to the also point, like, I don't want the kid to get hit on the face, right? Like, we want to be able to handle those situations.
Or the dog get bit, or you don't want anybody to be bit if the dog has already caused harm to somebody.
Correct.
So some of that is, I mean, there is that judgment. And, you know, I think, yes, the option is there. And maybe we don't want it there. That's, well, you know, we'll discuss all that. We'll get in the meeting when the chief is here and after the attorney gets through it. You know, I paused on that as well.
I think until we have good judge.
Yeah.
We have a staff, but if we still open the door, yeah, somebody could just shoot the dog.
My concern is we don't put any of our employees in harm's way. They're not trained dog catchers. And many times they have to get a straight off, go back to the car, take it down to the pound. And that's really not something we want our law enforcement to do. That being said, if they're dangerous, I don't think the law enforcement, they set a rainbow. I can walk or chase the dog and get hurt. And when problems, just exasperate. He puts my arm. But, I'd like to hear more, I'd like the chiefs.
Yep.
To give some more, input about as well as their time.
I think the reality is that we're talking about not having enough information. We're not having enough power, clarity. We need to create that clarity and that, and the detail of that. Because the running dog thing, I'm glad you kind of helped clarify it. I was reading that, thinking, well, what if the dog is just running? Do they consider this dangerous? Well,
No, it's the behavior of the dog, it's the history of the dog. I mean, I guess to some extent, everything will get once right. And there's judgment after that. You know, that's, on the other hand, you know, the alternative is what we've had. And which hasn't worked. You know, with the second bite, you still can do anything with the dog. So, but those are steps that we can evaluate and figure out how best to accomplish our ends. And like I said, you know, the attorney might have some concerns about the language in there as well. But like, you know, we'll come back to the, on the.
Well, I think we had taken steps based on the frustration. That was really
Yeah.
we have a fixed market. But still, and that family euthanized those animals, but I don't remember there being kind of a rule or law. So that's to me, that's because you feel very helpless. So yeah, I'm glad we're.
Yes. So we'll complete the legal review with Bob and we can bring back prior to it, you know, we can bring back another discussion if you like. The chief has been gone for 2 weeks, so that's why, you know, she'd give you information from the agenda and I didn't.
No, I think it was smart for you to start now. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Get the ball.
That's why she.
But I agree with Steph. I think it's something we need to take care of. Probably if we can.
All right. I will have better information on Thursday. We have our monthly update on the plaza project. But I would say it's still on schedule. To be done, I think, Thanksgiving. The work order number from Duke Energy, they're shooting for November 20th, completion of their work, which will energize the system. And last time we had talked about it, weeks ago now, they were hoping to start laying pavers, pretty quick here, if not over this week. Sign the contract for the second water line replacement project, today. They are hoping to start work mid-November. 2023.
That's
The first step is some underground work intersection of O'Kelly and Haggard, which will necessitate closing East Haggard from Williamson to O'Kelly for a period of 2 weeks. While they do all that work, so the path will be O'Kelly to heading out Haggard and Haggard onto O'Kelly and up to the university. Once that initial 2-week period is done, there will be a series of single lane closures all the way down East Haggard or York over the next, the engineer told me 9 months. Originally I didn't have that understanding of that long of a project. So as we get into the finalizing the details, we can clarify. It'll be a single lane closure, alternating travel, so it'll be traffic control at each end of the closure. It'll be a floating closure, so it won't be the whole length. Each segment will have its own closure, and so the alternating traffic, east west, and there'll be segregated pedestrian facilities along Haggard at each step of the way, so that on one side of the closing will be gated off, the other side will still have the sidewalk. Could be that they'll be walking on what is currently roadway, but it'll be all coded off, segregated from that way. And once we know what that schedules will look like, we'll obviously put it to university on their major traffic periods of move in, move out, other events, so that we can, alert the contractor that, hey, to the extent possible, we need to have it open. We have it open for two lanes during those 2 days. We work with all parties concerned so we can minimize those major impacts on out of all the periods.
That affect the university's ability to close off their portion of the
The areas that the university stopped closing in the past have been between Williamson and O'Kelly. We're going the other way from O'Kelly to out. So it won't affect any there, other than that 2-week period. It won't affect any universities doing, voting. And depending on, as I said, mid-November, quite possible that our closure will overlap luminaries.
Yeah.
So they'll need to close Haggard in order to be closed. That's a potential. They actually withdrew their closure application for that lot this morning. The plans are still working on just having, they don't have firm plans for the other side of the road. That was why they were looking to do it. And they're saying now those plans aren't yet firm, so we're not sure what happened. They already closed it. We approved the Collinger bid, a couple weeks back, so we, been approved. It's a big project, yes. So once I confirm the schedule, then I'm gonna go back to DOT and say, all right, here's when this project will be pending. They're at their schedule. We're not. It's 9 months from mid-November, I think that takes us to. It'd be great if all goes well, and then I can see. Very thankful that we can be in, I know. You know, it's tighter than we like. Some years ago. Friday, this coming Friday, the 27th, is Halloween at National Park. Trunk or treat, kids activities, snack. The theme this year is Hocus Pocus. Beer garden is coming to its third weekend on North Pole. The jury's out, weather hasn't cooperated necessarily. So we'll see how that's moving along. Farmers Market is winding down 2023. It's the last Thursday, will be November 9th. Got plenty of fruits and vegetables anyway to purchase, so I think everybody will be out there and get those folks. November 1st is a planning board special meeting. We're meeting to review the draft LMO management ordinance. Recommendation to you folks. And the last item I have is a bid that has a hearing on November 14th on that draft LMO with the planning board recommendation. For the first, we'll have a list of comments that are coming in. Partially updated with staff recommendation. At that point, by the time the public hearing is held, staff recommendations and all the comments. And that will then feed your discussion after that. Yeah, you like this, we think this one would be this way. That kind of a review process. Won't any comments that are coming that night. You'll have a feedback in your hands. November 27th.
Well, first, it's great to see that coming out. Here. Phyllis, I don't know what we're gonna do about it. You've done such an amazing job. But you're remarkable, that's what you left on, you want to do. So, appreciate Professor Donahue bringing in this class. You guys are so lucky. This is probably one of our shortest meetings. The Ellen, with that being said, if you want to think that, I can't, everybody who's worked on it, I think. Not me, but everybody else has worked on it, so, amazing job, and, yeah, we'll be expressed to work on it, so.
You're not the only one.
And make sure I get this part.
I don't know. Say my words for you. Thank you. I don't know really like. Here's where I was wondering.
maybe I did drive. But maybe it has not had much, but it looked very much, and it wasn't students. Alamo, I just want to say, once again, too, thank you for the hard work. But it's one of those things that when you're doing something as important as that, you do have to take a lot of time. And I'm hoping that if there are any of those issues that we can address, but it's been a learning experience for all of us, just to know that the state controls so much more than I even knew that. And how our hands are tied in so many different ways, or just completely left out of any kind of decisions in certain areas. So trying to really bring forth a product that we feel is something that's going to help really our community and really make a contribution. Again, my interest, of course, is around sustainability, and I really feel like I want to keep looking at all little places that there's anything we can do to help. I was very impressed that there was that kind of care given to them. I'm just going to speak briefly once again about farmers market. Farmers market has been, I think it's been one of the more successful years that we've had. And I think it's going to only get better from here. And I really think we have really good seasons. Vendors seem to be very good. At least that's what I can see so far. Very pleased about that. Phyllis, I met you more when you were doing downtown stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say just something a little different. I'm just going to say, you set a standard for us to search for. So, yeah, maybe we might not be able to do without you, we can say that on the way, but we need to let you move on when you're ready. And what the work you have done and how you have done gives us, the ability to continue, hopefully continue to build. And we have seen that in a lot of different things, in terms of all the different projects and stuff. Sustainability is what we need at the end of this, not this Wednesday, but I'm trying to get, I have that wrong. It is this Wednesday. So we will continue really trying to fulfill the idea of Elon being a green community. And I think that's what I think that's pretty much all I want to say tonight. We did speak a little bit about the things going on in Israel last time. I just really want to just say that I think we are challenged in terms of as every community is, to understand the importance of peace, the importance of us, of how we work, and what we do together, and how we build.
A lot of what been said, repeat, glad to have Diane back, and present, not on the Zoom screen. And keep us, looking this back, and then we can look at it later, but, I think you give the people a reason to go to our parks and recreation, district programs, National Park and Mossway, things that have changed over the years that we've been here. It's all positive, so I appreciate that. For the students, I'm so glad to see you here. I'm excited about homecoming weekend, and hopefully one day you'll be the alumni come back and you'll see the Elon's a better place than when you attended here. And welcome you always come back, and hope Elon will always be your home. I appreciate things going downtown. The beer garden, I had positive comments, negative comments, but I do appreciate the public works, and we made a great place out there. Whether the beer garden succeeds or not, we've got a nice space out there that we can do a lot of things. So that's the positive side. Minimal amount of money, but, and painted actually, I saw her painting today, she was out there. So that was kind of neat to see that going on. So, a lot of good things going in our town, and, you know, building sidewalks, that's quite pleased her more than anybody. Yeah, I heard it too. I use a lot of sidewalks this week. You know, Mayor couldn't be here, Mayor Sharp, look forward to having you back.
All of that, those comments. Glad to see you in person. Comment about, downtown. Hoping to get everything on the plaza all set prior to Christmas and all the festivity that we have. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that that date of, Thanksgiving is met. So that'll be a great opening if we can get that done by that time. And Phyllis, like everybody said, we'll have more to say, but you and I have worked together over the years. I was liaison to the recreation parks commission, and we worked on to bring it together from parks. And, you're a great leader, recreation parks department, and a lot to be. Whoever's going to fill your position has a lot to live up to in that regard. So it's been a pleasure, you know, working with you over the years, and congratulations on your time. Yeah, I enjoyed that time. And again, students, thank y'all for coming out this evening. You have had one of the shorter sessions. But you're good with that. So I have no other. Motion to adjourn. Pressure on that.